Namaste, everybody, and welcome to a foundational yoga class. I am connect with you within a distance when this word will be said for so long. Know that I miss you so much. Always thinking of you and sending good thoughts for each and every one of us. Today practice I bring back if you have been taking my class before, you may run into these words. If you're new, it's good time to learn about this because the action of hugging in toward the midline, it help stabilize your pose even more, especially when you have problem balancing in the pose. And it will come handy when you do poses like that you have like one leg in the front, one leg in the back, or one leg in the front, one leg in the back, or vice versa. And we're going to learn that action today. Now, I just want to say a little bit before we start. Besides that action, we actually have to do one action prior to that. Before we hugging in toward the midline of the body. Now, the midline of the body is, you imagine that you cut yourself in half. That is the line that runs through, the midline of your body, and you hugging in toward it energetically. However, it will give you even more stability. I actually never hugging in toward the midline without doing this. Is when one foot is in front and one foot in the back, or one foot in the front or one knee in the back. You should drag them toward one another, or I normally use the word scissor, which means that you drag your front foot back and you drag your back foot forward, and you do it isometrically. The reason I use this was because your legs are not literally moving because they are grounded. However, that action, we actually move all the way up your leg, and it's going to work on your hips, which we want that action to help us to do that. It's like when one foot's forward, one foot is back, your hip is kind of tilted toward the direction of your front foot, and then you scissor your leg, right, to help your hip to come back to facing forward. Like make your hip as square as it can be, and then after that you hugging in toward the midline. We're gonna put those action into the practice today, so don't worry. For now, close your eyes, please. And breathe deep. And once again, you come back to this practice to remember what matters, to live this life as at peace and happy and with compassion as much as possible. When the world around us is chaos, lots of confusions, lots of anger. Because if you want the world to be what we like it to be, the change, it doesn't start outside, but within. It's not about pointing the finger to others and say, you have to do it better. You have to treat me better. But it's always a journey to go back and ask oneself, how can I look at it differently? How can I challenge myself to be more loving? What do I have to be willing to let go? Because when your action is full with compassion and care and love, it shines. People feel them. And some of them may be lucky enough to ripple the same action from you to themselves and others. And some other people may enjoy being around that kind of energy you share, and that is such a good thing that you do to one another. May the breath remind you that. May the space within you when you inhale reminding you that you don't have to hold on to that anger and hatred and disappointment. They can be letting it go. And you make the choice to drive into the space of love, the space of respect, the space of forgiveness. Because those positive energy are going to affect, or the negative energy are going to affect your practice. You will feel them in yourself. And besides feeling them, they are going to keep you healthy, physically, mentally, emotionally, or keep you remaining ill and sick, physically, emotionally, and mentally. Just remember, you have the power and the ability to choose what's best and good for you. With that in mind, draw your hands together right in front of your heart. And we are going to chant Om 3 times together, please. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. Another deep inhale, please. And you bow your head towards your heart. Release your hands, lift your chins, open your eyes. Since we are already on the seat, why don't we warm up right here? So let's take care of our neck by doing anything you like. Keep your spine nice and elongated always, okay? That should you should implement that and make it your second nature. Now you choose to make a big circle. with a big, deep breath. If you're following me, I'm changing the direction right now. I really like kind of find the maximum of that circle so I can feel the opposite muscles are being like stretching, especially right here. Yep. If you find the tightness of the muscles and you want to elongate it even more, you can actually use your hand to kind of to put the weight more on it, and you pull, your neck away from your shoulder. That's really good. I'm gonna go into the tilted the head side to side and pulling my, again, pretty much just use like hold the bottom of my skull and just pull the neck away from the shoulder. Once again, don't collapse your back. When you breathe and you feel that expansion coming in your torso, breathe into the muscle that you want to stretch them as well, and really feel they do the jellyfish action. They expand when you inhale, and when you exhale, they kind of softening, and you can pull the muscle deeper. Do it carefully and gradually. I'm gonna go to the other side. This side is more trouble side for my body right now. It's better. Interestingly, when you sit and the way you allow your spine, like if you move your body forward a little bit, the feeling of the stretch is different than when you kind of move your chest backward and stack on top of the bottom of the spine and elongate upward. Yeah, because you use a different muscle when you're doing that. So the shifting of the body is something you can play around with as well to really get into the muscle that you need to stretch. I'm going to get out from that. Whoa, that's a deep one. Roll the shoulder up and back. Bring your wrist shaking in, right? As well, yeah. Wrist shaking in, shaking your wrist. And don't forget to go the opposite direction. If you bring your hands on your shoulder like this and bend at the elbow, when you get your shoulder, your elbow to come toward one another, you're going to feel the stretch on the lateral side of your arms. It's cool if you need it. Yeah. Whoa. The feeling of it, the same as when you do thread the needle and you sit on, I'm touching my mic, on your heel, it pull, it really stretches the same muscle. It's like you're doing this, but it's different, yeah. Cool. If you want to go further, now go into your trunk, okay? If you don't mind and you like to open your legs apart, I would love to offer you that, but some of us love to sit cross-legged like this. Just And just throw the body around like that. I love to add my adductor muscles into the mix, which mean, the inner sides of the legs, just because they are tight. And any chance that I can stretch them again and again and again, which means they're going to get the chances to be more flexible and more open and more elastic. So I do it. Oh, my tea. You change your direction anytime. If you are opening enough and your body lean forward, very close to the floor, you can kind of hold yourself up in a spider arms and just shake your body side to side. Yeah, it's really help with the neck. Keep the neck hang low. And of course, you stretch your adductor muscles even more so. Yeah. Come off from it a little bit and relax your legs and you just shake it. Side stretch. And we twist the body gently while you're sitting nice and tall. Now, when you do that, draw your ribs in and push back. Heart go forward and up. Okay. And do one more each side. And then you come back center. You relax the muscles, get yourself out from the wide legs open safely. Bring your legs together in front of you. Shake them one more time. Or circle the ankles. Also is a good idea. Forward and back. Yep. Shake it, shake it. We're going to go into the lateral sides of the leg and hit the hips a little bit. You allow your leg to turn out, and drag it in and let the knees kind of bend and open. You're not going to drag the heel so close to the groin, so you make a triangle. No, a diamond shape with the legs. Yeah. So your foot is diagonal out, like here, and then you elongate the spine up. If you feel enough stretch here, good. Just stay right here. Press the little toe side edge of your feet into the floor. For us who can get more out from the pose, you just continue, extend your spine forward. And we go downward toward the floor. Yeah. It doesn't take much. With the breath, remember, gradually get into to increase the intensity. Because that either can mean you are hurting yourself or you stretching your muscles. Carefully, inhale, come up and away from the floor. Now we go into Extended legs in front. Now your legs is hip distance apart, okay? Elongate the spine up to the sky. Inhale, spreading your toes, spread your big toe, little toes away from you. And then we go forward into, yeah. Oh no, the hamstrings muscles. Keep moving your chest toward the foot. Okay. If you can see me, you can see that I move my neck a lot, and I said this so often that I have a lot of tension here. And when you extend your body safely and your body dangling to the floor, like your upper body and your neck dangling to the floor, it's a good space to kind of take care of that tension while you're working on, stretching your hamstrings muscle. Inhale, come up and away from the floor. We're going to go into the hands and knees. Pat it. Have your knees together and drop your hips side to side. Come back center, open your knee hip distance apart. And we are going to look left and right. And you move your hip toward the direction of the way you're looking. Direction of your looking, yeah. So you look to your right, your hip move to the right. You feel as if your ears and your hips are trying to meet one another. So we flexion the size of the muscles of our back. More, one more each side, please. And then do big circular motion with your spine. Change the direction. Come back center. We do cat-cow. Please inhale, arch the back, cow pose. Exhale, round your back, cat pose. Two more. And we do inhale, cow pose. Now we're going to move in and out from the wrist. Exhale, cat pose, and sit down toward your heel. Repeat. You move forward again. And arch your back, and your weight's going to be more toward your wrist this time. And then exhale, round your back, push your weight back toward your heel. Keep going. Two more. And you come up onto your hands and knees. We thread the needle. Right hand's under. Remember your hip position. You have two options. Either sit all the way toward the heel. This is the same stretch. Do you remember the hand touching your shoulders? Or you have your hips stacked over the knee and feel more toward within your back muscles.
Stay focused softly with your breath and with your body. Whoa. Carefully. Other side, please. Inhale, come up and away from the floor. We step the right leg forward and get the left knees off the floor. Pivot to the left feet parallel toward one another. While you're here, you hug the chins in, push your thighs apart, hold your elbow, and dangling your body side to side. If your body really dangle down to the floor, okay? If that's not happening with you and you are more off from the floor with the spine, you just move your hip back and chest forward. And try to move the chest toward the floor. You actually can walk your hands side to side as well if you want, and push your weight to the opposite sides of your legs. So you get the side stretch. There. And carefully, we go into Skandasana. Your heels are turning in toward one another and your toes are turning away from one another. And we move our weight from one leg to the other. Okay. So you're going to go from bend to straight and straight to bend with the spine elongated. Put that. Feel too wide. When your right knee bend, next time just stay there and then you turn toward the front of the mat and have your left knee on the floor. This is a good place. As you can see, we have one foot forward in the front and one knee in the back. We can do these actions right here. This one you're not gonna need much stability because you have your hands helping you to make the foundation feel already more stable, right? But it's such a good place to learn the action. So before we stretch, drag that front heel and back knee. Front heel is dragging back, back knee dragging forward. Let me use the word scissor. Scissor your leg toward one another. And after that, hugging your thigh in toward the midline of the body and draw your core in and up at the same time. Right? You're going to see a stronger feeling in your legs. Yeah. Can you feel that? And then after that, you stretch. So you have to keep the action that you just did and stretch. It just makes the foundation feel firmer, feel stronger, feel more stable. You're going to feel it much, much, much more always in Warrior One, in High Lunge, in hip flexor stretch with one knee on the floor. I will tell you when that happened. Yeah. And inhale, you move up and away from the floor, like carefully. When you can drag the front heel back in safely, you do that. And have the foot down, have your left hand on the floor, same line with the left knee, and then we're going to turn the body open toward the right side of the room. And let's circle this right shoulder 5 times each side, please. Each side, each direction. Okay, I have 5 on that, and then 5 on the other. And after that, elongate that left side body from finger to the toe. Maybe turn your belly a little bit and your chest more toward the ceiling. And exhale, child's pose. Inhale, come up and away from the floor, and we are going to step the left leg forward in runner stretch. Heels down, toes up, stretch your left leg. Remember that your legs are hip distance apart, okay? Don't line them up on top of one another. Here we go. Scissor your leg, front heel back, back knee forward, and then hugging in toward the midline. Keep breathing. Inhale, core flip, elongate the spine. Exhale, here we go, stretch. Remember, keep the action in your leg, and you can do the jellyfish action with your trunk. If that serves you better, the tighter you are, the more movement in your trunk you do, it will really help to releasing that tightness and tension much faster. Inhale, come up and away from the floor. You come up high enough that when you drag the left foot in, you're good. And you ground your right hand to the floor and just like playing with the block to see if I need it or not, and kick the left leg back. Your body turn toward the left side of the room, and we take care of the left shoulders 5 times each direction. Other. Elongate the left side's body. And child's pose, please. What do you need, love? Just take a deep breath, everybody. Let's do inhale, come up onto your hands and knees. Tuck your toes under, downward facing dog. Look at your wrist first before you go there. Make sure you really claw the floor with your finger pad and you spread your fingers enough. Yeah. And then when you're ready, hips up, chest back. Exhale. Please take this time to paddle your knees. If you tight a lot in your legs, that's one option. Or you can keep your knees bent and work on opening the chest. This one takes a lot more strength to lift your armpits up. This is almost like an isometric action. Like you actually lift the whole arms up and away from the floor, but you feel a lot on your shoulder blades, and you draw them toward one another. Oh, yeah. And then you push the floor away from you and get your chest back toward the feet and also toward the floor without overextending your elbow. And you repeat that action with the breath. That's the other options. Or you can do one a little bit. Do the leg first and then do the chest. Or some of you can do both at the same time. Child's pose, please. Inhale, come up and away from the floor. We're gonna go into high lunge. Right leg forward first. And tuck your left toes under. Get your left knees off the floor. Right here before you get your trunk up. You scissor your feet. Yeah. Drag your front heel back foot forward. And hug your thighs in toward the midline and draw your core in and up. And you're gonna feel really strong on your leg and more stable. Yeah. And then when you have that, keep that action in the leg. Come up. Yeah. It's gonna help taking away that wobbly action if you work those two actions first. Yeah. And then when you come up, keep that action still, and then now work with the breath. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, lift the heart, opening the chest. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Even right here, when you feel wobbling again, you can do those two actions over and over and make sure that you're not overdo it, okay? Do not do it to the point that you're tight. Go down, child's pose, or tense up. And carefully step the left leg forward and do it again. High lunge, left foot down, right leg straight, stay on the ball of the foot, and we do scissor the foot toward one another and hug your legs in toward the midline course. In, keep breathing, and inhale, push the floor away from you. Don't let go of the action on the leg, and come up. And then exhale, lunge. And you have to keep checking if you still have that action in the legs. Why you are doing this lunging and lifting, yeah, and working the arms. I know there's a lot of details in the pose, of course. One more breath. And then carefully exhale, yeah, to the floor. Get it? Can you feel it in the body? Those little details, if you can put most of them into the body, you can feel how much it helps your pose to feel so efficiently in every way, strengthening, stability, and opening and stretching and relaxing. Come onto your hands and knees and go to downward facing dogs again, okay? I'm not asking you to come into downward facing dog and stay still like a rock. I want you to use your breath to stretch either your chest. Now I'm bending my knee and drop my hips side to side, so I choose to work to stretch the sides, body. Okay. And then I shift to pedal the knee. So do you do which one you want to do first, but don't be still in the pose. Even though if your feet are on the floor and your legs straight and your arms are still, you can still work the chest. This is for you who are really opening. You can go into the chest opening and push your weight back toward your feet, child pose, and work the hamstring and the calf muscles. Up onto the hands and knee. We get the right leg extend back and lift it off the floor, and the left hand extend forward and come off the floor. Inhale, elbow and the knee meet beneath the belly. Exhale, extend. Inhale. Exhale, extend. Last one. Get your left hand down, turn your body open to the right. Stretch that right side once again, nice and long, and opening the front of the body. And exhale, we go toward the floor. Step your right leg forward. Diagonal to the left, the lizard pose. Lizard is also another good place to practice the action. Once again, it's not gonna feel so help you much with the stability because your hands are helping you, but we have one foot forward, one foot backward. Practice the action will really help the body to kind of embody that in the future. So we drag the front, heels back, back knee forward, hug the thighs in toward the midline, draw your core in, and move your hip back and chest forward. And you can feel, I really can feel my front leg are much more solid and strong and engaged when I do that. Inhale, carefully move yourself up and away from the floor. We are going to do standing split. First of all, heel toe your right foot in and square your chest toward the front edge of the mat. When you have your right foot right in front of the hip, we're going to shift the weight forward. And we're going to launch and balance on the right leg and lift your left leg off the floor and opening the hip to the left. Okay. And from here, elongate your leg and the spines away from one another. Inhale. And when you exhale, you tilted your body toward the floor and kick your left leg as high as up to the sky, the best you can. Inhale, you breathe. And exhale, you do that. Tilt it and lengthening the leg. One more. Carefully square your hip toward the floor. Soften the front knees a little bit and step your left leg back. And have your left foot on the floor and point to 11 o'clock. Walk your hands in underneath the shoulders. Now we are in a pyramid pose. We are going to stretch the hamstring and we have the feet in the position of helping us to apply the action of the hugging in. So we start with inhale, scissor the front foot back and back foot forward. Can you feel that? It really moves your hip here. And hug your thighs in toward the midline, draw your core in. Inhale, elongate the spine, chest forward, hips backward. Exhale, we go toward the floor and you stretch. One exhale at the same time. And it's going to be within your individual body of how much you should scissoring your feet, how much you should hugging in and lifting your core. You have to play around with how tight and how loose your muscles are. And when you do those actions, it should feel good somewhat. I know stretching is not a good feeling for some of us, but you should not feel like it's over tighten up. You squeeze something, you pinching something. Those action along the lines and not should be a part of it. And carefully from here, bend that front knee. Have your hands on the floor and step your left leg back a little further. And you're gonna push the floor away from you. Get your right leg back until you can lift it and you go to downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips high. Get your chest back. Inhale, lift your hip up to the sky, round your back up and you go forward. Move your weight toward your wrist as much as you feel comfortable. Stop when it's not and exhale, you go back to downward facing dog. And repeat. Right here, we work the wrist into the flexion and you might have to gradually flexioning your wrist. for some of us, you cannot completely into the full flexion right away. If you are not that tight, you can just keep on going into the full flexion, full flexion, and you're gonna get into a stronger plank pose. Last one, please. And child's pose. Inhale, come up onto your hands and knees, and we're gonna go to the second side. So this time our left leg is gonna go back and off the floor. Right hand extend forward and off the floor. Inhale, round the back, elbow and the knee meet beneath the belly. Exhale, extend. 2 more. Last one. And you get the right hand and the left foot down, turn your body to the left side of the room, stretch and opening the front bodies a little bit. Careful with the lower back. And then exhale, we go toward the floor. We turn toward the front. We step the left leg forward. Adjust the width of the foundation as much as you need. Lizard pose, please. Then scissor the front foot and the back knee toward one another. Hug the thighs in toward the midline. Inhale, core lifted. Exhale, we go into a lizard stretch. Okay. And you adjust your foundation accordingly. Carefully inhale, come up and away from the floor. Give yourself enough height so you can walk your left foot in safely. Have your hands on either side of the foot. When the foot in front of the hip, we get the back knees off the floor. We launch forward. Get the right foot off the floor. Open the hip to the right. Elongate the spine and kick the right legs back. Exhale, tilted your body. Trunks go down, legs go up. Inhale, breathe to your back. Exhale, elongate again. Last one. Then square your hip. Bend your left knee, step your right leg back. If you have to be really high, just go as high as you need to. Make sure you're stable at first. I'm gonna try to be tight. Okay. And when you're stable, and you scissor the feet, breathe, hug the thighs in, draw your core up. Inhale, elongate the spine, and exhale, stretch. When you implement the action, you have to feel your joints, why that happened. And anything that doesn't feel right, you have to kind of move around it or let go and try it again. Maybe you overdo it, maybe you underdo it, maybe your feet are not at the right place and you have to adjust. Maybe you move your hip too much because of the dragging. Okay. Just learn to get to know yourself along the way. Inhale, move your chest up and away from the floor. Bend your left knee and you pivot to the right. Have your feet parallel to one another. Okay, I'm going to turn toward the camera. Now, right hand, we're going to use the left hand first. Left hand hold the outside of the right ankle. Right hand go into your sacrum. You can kind of rest the back of your palms onto the sacrum if it's okay with your shoulders, or just touch it, or on the hips. Hug your thighs in toward the midline. Hug your chin in, push your thighs apart, and then pull yourself toward your right leg, and then turn your chest up to the sky, and draw that left shoulder back, and breathe. Some of you might want to lift that right arms up toward the ceiling, or even go over the head. Yeah, this is just try to be playful and see if it help you to feel more stretch anywhere in the body or not, but please don't forget the foundation of the pose. Yeah. One more breath. Inhale, come up and away from the floor, and you go to the other side. Now for us who cannot hold the ankle because we are not that flexible yet, you can walk your hand on one side, and then push the floor away from you, and then extend opposite hip back behind you. Yep. Do it that way. Carefully, we're going to go back toward the front of the mat, and we take child's pose, please. We crawl forward to forearm plank pose. Firming action of pushing the forearm to the floor, and also elongate the spines. Just go forward. Press the heels back if you tuck your toes under. If you're on your knee, just keep lifting the heart. Elongate your neck. Yeah. Exhale. Go all the way down to the floor. And we stretch the pec major. Extend the left hand out to the left. Palm facing down. Use your right hand to help you to turn open to the right. And open as much as your body can take it safely. Keep your hands on the floor. If you look more toward the back like the bottom, the right side of your neck doesn't have to work right now, and we are not really care for that right now, but more toward the pec major. Other side, please. Ooh, that's my tea. Carefully roll yourself back to your belly and your chest. And we go from here to an airplane pose, because we're lifting the legs and the arms and fly like an airplane here. So you walk your hands out to the side, like into at the shoulder height, or you can go a little bit down toward the hips. Turn your palms away. Inhale, lift the arms, lift the legs, lift the spine. Exhale, go down slightly, still stay lifted though, and inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, down. 3 more. This is called jellyfish actions right here. Inhale, you increase intensity. Exhale, you let go. Which is more, I think it's the opposite than when your body is on top. Right? Exhale, letting it go. And from here, you either interlace your hands behind your back or use a strap if your shoulders are very bulgy and need more room to draw them toward one another. Okay. When you use a strap, you turn your palm up toward the sky. You broaden your arms as wide as your shoulder can move. And when you have it, like you pull the strap apart, draw your shoulder blades up and away from the floor and together. Okay. And when you have that, keep it, and when inhale, now our hands are going to go up toward the ceiling. It's not going to go toward the back, okay? And then exhale, let it go. Inhale, arms, legs, chest. Exhale, relax slightly. Inhale. I need to interlace my hand. Yeah. 2 more. Last one. And then let go. Stack the hands. Rest your foreheads on them. Rock your hips side to side if you feel like your back needs some release. This will help. And carefully bring yourself up onto your hands and knees. Give me a second. We're going to do a hip flexor stretch in low lunge pose, because that's going to help me to give you to practice that hugging in toward the midline again. So we get the right leg forward. Now, the reason I say low lunge because we start right here. Any one of you who can bend your left knee and hold the foot with the hands, I would love you to do that. If you cannot do it, just tuck your left toes under, okay? And after that, everything, we pretty much do it the same. So first of all, like this is gonna help you so much to stabilize the pose, the action. Drag your front heel back and back knee forward. Keep breathing, inhale. Hug the thighs toward the midline of the body and draw your core in and up. I really feel how it's really helped me to stabilize. I hope you do too. And when you have that, exhale, you lunge. Inhale, lift up to the sky. If you hold the back foot with the hand, that action of lunging forward is not going to happen so greatly. It's going to be so subtle. Inhale, lift the heart. But if you don't hold the foot and you're in low lunge, you can really lunge and really lift. I mean, the look of it is much more obvious to people around you. Right. And then exhale, let it go. Switch leg, please. Hold the back foot or not. Have it? I'm going to do without holding the leg at first. Drag the front heel back knee toward one another. Scissor your feet. And inhale, hug your thighs in toward the midline, draw your core in and up right away. And then exhale, lunge, right? Inhale, lift the heart, opening the chest. Exhale, lunge. Now I'm going to switch the holding. If you hold one leg with one hand, the other arms, pretty much if you want to move them, it's really help to go up toward the ceiling. You don't really have to use them at all. You can just hold your thighs because it's also going to help you stabilize. If you don't hold the back foot, you have both hands. You can work them at the same rate, right? Child's pose. Inhale, come up and away from the floor. Lie down onto your back, please. Tamaya, look. Mommy's still teaching, honey. Can you lie onto your back? Can mommy give you the tea? And have your right ankle above your left knee, please. Don't come in yet, honey. Mommy. Give mommy 10 minutes.
We'll sit on the yellow chair and eat some snacks.
Give mommy 10 minutes, please. I know.
Go outside? You can go outside.
So your right ankle above your left knee. Be careful, okay? Don't step on mommy. Just... What are you doing? Mommy's still teaching yoga, honey. You want to sit on mommy? So your right ankle is above your left knee. Breathe. Let's sit down. Your purple heart. So book. Switch leg, please. Left ankle above your right knee. Let me do a figure four pose, honey, with the back on the floor. Do you want to?
Mommy's teaching.
Yeah, mommy's teaching yoga. Do you want to copy?
Mommy's teaching. Mommy's teaching.
Don't put the foot on mommy's throat. Mommy cannot breathe. And now we're going to switch the legs. Okay. Now you are going to hold your right leg with your right hand and your left leg either knees bent or straight. Use a strap if you have to. And then from here, we are going to kick the right leg to the right. Okay. So we get into the adduction stretch. Boom, 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 boom. Breathe. Bring it up toward the sky. Get into the hamstring stretch. What's going on? You have an allergy? And from here, we are going to do some core exercise. So you're going to either not lift your left leg off the floor. Hand behind the back of the head. I cannot do it. My daughter is. Oh, I can. And lift your chest off the floor. And just exhale. You draw. Move your right leg to meet the left. Inhale, come up. 7 more. 1. 2. 3. Okay, not your head. 5. 6. 7. You see mommy foot move up and down. 8. And then come down, hug your knee toward your chest. Rock side to side. Should we do fly? Fly. And after that, from here, now we're going to do the left leg. So you hold your left foot with the hands or use a strap. Right? Okay. And then kick it to the left. So you don't want mommy to talk now? Mommy's almost done, honey. Almost done. You're going to lie down. Lie down on your back. Lie now. And then inhale, bring it up, and we get into the hamstring stretch here. Okay, let's do a deep breath. Very full exhale. Come on, mommy, switch the legs. Switch the head. And then from here, right? So hand behind the back of the head, you lift your right leg off from the floor, lift the chest off from the floor, and then move your left leg to meet the right. Inhale up, and we do 7 more, 8 together. 2, 3, 4, 5. My look. Oh my God. You want mommy to do the singing? And come up. And then hug your knee toward the chest, rock side to side. Mommy will play the music soon, honey. And from here we do Supta Baddha Konasana. Feet together, knees apart. Stretch the arms overhead. One here. And then from there, you put the block underneath your sacrum and lift your legs up toward the ceiling. And Taya is going to play the harmoniums a little bit. It's too much now. You just relax your shoulders and your arms down to the floor while your legs are elongate up to the sky. Let the energy surround you, kind of holding your legs. Even though it's floating, but you still feel supported. You relax your jaw, softening your eyes, and deepen your breath. And just slowly, gradually, you're just slowing down your breathing. Good job, honey. Shavasana.